Hello and welcome to Springboard Media's ActivTips. I'm Amanda Urbanzik. Today's active tip is going to take a look at some ways that you can generate and test hypotheses in your classroom. Another instructional strategy that you can incorporate into your digital classroom is generating and testing hypotheses. There are many ways to do this. Three that I'd like to highlight would be using your learner response systems, your active to active expressions, using Magic Eraser, and using simulations available online. Let's take a look at learner response devices and Magic Eraser together. So to create a group hypothesis, you can use your learner response devices to have students vote. In this example, if something would float or sink. You can also use drag copies to create a visual representation of the student's hypothesis. So each of these are set up to be drag copies. So if I click on one and move it over here, there's still more underneath. I can also use this magic revealer, and I've hidden behind the information whether it will float or sink. So you could do this with any kind of hypothesis generation. You can also use your learner response systems before you do a simulation. So in my classroom, students were going to be creating bridges, and they wanted to take a look at what materials would be the strongest type materials to create a bridge. You can just do this on the fly where you ask students and have them use a text response. You could also set it up where you have people compare different types of material. This great simulation I want to show you is from Building Big from PBS. So this Building Big website looking at bridges is a really great simulation where students can try out different forces, loads, materials, and shapes. So it shows them a very non-linguistic representation of different key vocabularies that they'll be learning about in the unit. And if you go to the materials section, you can try out different materials. So you can squeeze them or stretch them until they break, and it gives you some information about it. It also gives you information about its properties, its applications, and in the real world. So you set this up with students creating a hypothesis before, then they could try out all these simulations and take a look at how they tested their hypothesis later. The greatest thing about doing anything with your ActivInspire is that everything is savable and editable. So if you use the learner response systems at the beginning, you can bring up that exact page again and have students look at it at the end of the activity. I hope you've enjoyed today's active tip. Springboard Media has a wide range of professional development courses and workshops. Check us out. Thanks!